This might be one of the most epic deliveries we ever received on this channel. Let's crack it open. This right here is your entire home gym in one single box. This is the Speediance Monster 2 and sounds as badass as it is. I feel like I just got a new car. This right here is an entire home gym in one box. I am so excited to try this out. You guys know I'm a home gym connoisseur at this stage. I actually used to be kind of anti-home gym. I used to like the act of actually going to the gym, but since becoming a busy father, running a business, I've realized how much time having a good home gym setup can save. So I'm super excited to add this to the arsenal. Feeling like a kid on Christmas. Let's crack it open. You can do over 500 exercise on this thing, totally integrated with AI, and it even tracks your weights. It's a proper smart home gym. You know the style of training I recommend for getting results is heavy resistance training. And most home gym equipment, it's kind of just fluff. It doesn't give you those real hardcore results. It doesn't give you the pump. It doesn't test you enough. This thing is heavy metal, so it's in line with the message that I preach and promote. Oh my God. That is a proper bench. That's like a bench that you'd get in a gym. What the hell? Oh my God. Watch before on the street. Okay, so this is a better look at it. Be careful. Oh my God. I'm going to wheel this inside. Now we have an indoor and an outdoor gym at Lipsett. Lipsett is just slowly becoming a gym, as God intended. Okay, it's actually very easy to wheel. So that is a huge pro. You can move around the house, easy to unbox, takes a couple of minutes, and it's not as massive or it doesn't take up as much room as I thought it would. Definitely very portable if you're in an apartment or anything. This can definitely fit in your living room. Okay, very impressed with that. Let's go. Okay, so this is where we're currently at. Right now, I think like with the curtains, the living room, it makes the room look really aesthetic. Like I think that looks really good. It looks like a piece of like modern furniture. So this is the part I've been waiting to do, and it's a fold the thing down. So let's all do it together. It'll kind of take more shape then. Okay, now we're talking. Yeah. All right, so this is the base. Very sturdy. You can definitely do a couple of squats on this. And then there's a bench attachment that we're going to figure out in a minute. But I'm enjoying this. I feel like I've got a new toy. Here's also a quick look at a few more of the items that come with the package. So we have a little QR code for the app, the community that you can join, instruction setup manual. We even got a rope extension. Like that is quality. That is comprehensive. We got the plug. We got ankle straps, cuffs. We got the butt pad or the hip pad even for doing some glute thrusting. We got another attachment here. And we got the barbell back here. So let's put this all together. But so far, very easy, very simple. All right, let's talk home gyms for a second, because a lot of the time they end up a glorified coat rack or some massive setup that takes up the whole house and still leaves you missing half the exercises that you actually want to do. So when Speediance reached out and offered to send me out the Gym Monster and partner up on a proper piece of content, I said yes, but with a bit of skepticism. I've tried a few smart gym setups over the years and most of them feel like gadgets. They're cool for a week and then they gather dust. And most of the time, they're simply not difficult enough. They're not tough enough. They're not heavy enough. The Speediance Gym Monster 2 is basically an entire cable gym built into one compact unit. Dual digital weight motors, smooth resistance, a big touchscreen in the middle, and a full attachment setup with the bench, barbell handles, ankle straps, all included in the Family Plus package. Anything I would normally do in a commercial gym, I can do on this. But where it starts to become useful isn't the convenience or the tech, it's the accuracy. It's how it lets you train in a structured way with real data. I actually think Jeff Nippard would be all over this. And that brings me straight into progressive overload. Progressive overload is the single biggest driver of long-term results, and most people get it wrong. They think it means hitting a random PB every couple of weeks and calling that progress, and they're not totally wrong. Bench went up by 2 kilos, happy days, but that is not proper overload. That is an occasional win or just hoping for the best. Real progressive overload is consistent, measurable improvement. More reps, more sets, more weight, more tension, better form, larger range of motion, better consistency across sessions, more overall volume week to week, and if not tracked properly, we're basically just guessing. You think you did 12 reps last week, but maybe it was 10. The 40s were taken, so you grabbed the 30s instead and just said, I'll do some more reps today. You think you were controlling the weight, but your last 3 reps were half reps. You tell yourself that you'll remember it, but you don't. And even if you do log things, it's still messy. Cables feel different across gyms, plates vary, machines vary, and you've no idea if you actually progressed or if the equipment just feels different that day. This is where the Gym Monster has been a game changer. Every single rep is tracked, range of motion, power, tempo, exact resistance in kilos or pounds. Even if your ROM is short on a rep, the machine will verbally tell you to sort it out, and it saves automatically to your profile. So when you start a session, it literally tells you the total tonnage of what you lifted last time and how well you lifted it. There's no guesswork, there's no pretending, and there's no ego. You get a clean graph of every rep. If you cut the depth, the graph exposes you. If your power drops near the end, you see it. If you beat last week, even by a tiny amount, it shows it. You can progress with small increases instead of waiting for some huge jump. For someone who's been lifting a long time, I gotta say I'm impressed. Having the data right in front of you takes away all the uncertainty and keeps you honest. And that alone has made this thing massively useful to have in my arsenal. Now, let's talk about the training itself. For push days, I can do flat press, incline, standing presses, overhead work. Flies are amazing on this, triceps, everything. The cables feel like a proper weight stack, smooth, heavy when you want it heavy, responsive. Not that weird, stretchy, fake resistance you get on cheaper systems. For pull days, it's rows, pull downs, rear delts, curls, everything you expect. There's even a ski erg style motion for conditioning. Legs are covered too, split squats, RDLs, front squats, hinges, all the accessory work. Now, I'm never going to tell you that this replaces a heavy barbell back squat for a powerlifter, but for general fitness and hypertrophy, getting shredded, the resistance is plenty. It even has a remote control ring that you attach to your finger, and you can toggle the weight on or off or up and down whilst you're lifting. Very useful for drop sets or pyramid sets, or when you hit failure and you're pinned underneath the bar and you're trying not to die. And then we have good old Hyrox. Speediance are now an official digital training partner of Hyrox. So inside the Gym Monster, you actually get structured Hyrox strength and conditioning programs that follow real periodization, not random circuits, actual progressions. If you've done Hyrox before, you know how brutal it is. 1 kilometer run, a station, run again, and you repeat that 8 times. Sled push, sled pull, wall balls, ski erg, farmer's carry, burpee broad jumps, lunges, and rowing. The Gym Monster lets you train those patterns right at home. For sled push and pull, you use the constant or chain resistance mode and attach the belt or handles. It keeps the tension the whole way through, so you actually build the muscular endurance you need. For ski erg prep, you stand and drive the cables down just like a real ski machine. For rowing, you drop the bench in position, use the cable row mode. For wall ball prep, you can do thrusters and squat to press patterns with the bar or handles. Farmers carries can be trained using heavy unilateral holds and time under tension. And because the Hyrox workouts are built in, you get a structured plan that builds your aerobic base, strength for the stations, and pacing for race day. For those people who can't get to a big functional gym every day, this solves that problem immediately. So things I really like about the Gym Monster: it's compact, it folds, it does not need to be drilled into a wall. So if you're renting or you move a lot, it is not a nightmare. The data tracking is top notch. I think that's my favorite feature out of the whole thing. The cable feel is proper. The eccentric overload mode is brilliant for hypertrophy, and there's no forced monthly subscription just to use the machine. And I get it, this is not a budget piece of kit, but if you actually use it, it replaces a full cable gym and a commercial membership. You'll be able to get a proper lifting session in without that 20-minute drive to and back from the gym. That's why I've been absolutely hooked on this machine recently. It fits how I train, it fits my lifestyle, and it gives me accurate data that keeps me honest. And in summer in Marbella, when it doesn't rain for over 100 days, I'm definitely going to wheel it outside beside the pool, and it's just going to look so sick. If you want to check out the exact setup I'm using, the link and discount are in the description. And if you have any questions about Hyrox programming or how to set up a full training week on this, drop a comment and I'll get back to you. And I also really appreciate the support on videos like this, as they help the channel out a lot, and I think as far as sponsors go, it's a perfect fit. If you are a busy dad and entrepreneur of Speediance,
okay, go good.
if you're and most importantly, if you are a busy father, you're an entrepreneur, the Speediance is going to be perfect for squeezing in those quick workouts in busy days in between diaper changes. It's a must-have.